What's up, nerds, and welcome to Noisy Pixel's Game of the Year Awards 2024. Before we get into the video, I'd just like to say thank you for making 2024 kind of one of our best years from a community standpoint. We had a few issues with navigating Google updates and just algorithms in terms of reaching new readers or viewers, and it was our community that kind of rose up to share our videos, to like our stuff, to comment, to be there, that really gave us a path forward to where we are now in 2025. We have a lot of things planned, and Mark and I will put together a video shortly where we discuss some of those elements, but this video will be kept to our categories for best games of the year. We do have a best game of the year, which is at the end of the video if you want to skip, but we have some categories here, some that you may not agree with, but hey, that's the reality of lists. We'd like to know what your favorite games are in the comments below, and let's just talk about games, guys. Let's just elevate this weird thing that we're all interested in. Instead of fighting, let's joke around. Let's open up the doors of humility and put the ego aside for a second. We're all gamers here. Best games of the year is very subjective as a list, but also, I just think it's needed to bring awareness to some projects that set the bar for quality for what other developers should strive for. And I think indie developers hit the note on great games that they do. And I believe indie developers have the ability to really focus on just a few systems instead of encompassing a bunch of systems into one game. And I think that this is what these games do well, is they execute on many features, deliver experiences that raise the bar of the genres that they're in, and I cannot wait for you to see them, and thank you again. Please enjoy the video. Starting off our Game of the Year awards, we're gonna focus on our favorite games released from first-party studios. Nintendo has once again demonstrated its unmatched expertise in the adventure game design. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom takes everything the series does well, like epic dungeons, puzzle solving, and a sprawling world, and refines it. The result is a massive canvas filled with hidden caves, side quests, and character-driven storylines that keep players enthralled. Through this entry's new mechanics, such as sprite-infused gear and revamped skills, everything feels like it's breaking new ground, but with the core essence of the Zelda series intact. Each boss encounter is a spectacle of creativity, and discovering new areas evokes the timeless thrill of exploration. It's a comforting reminder of why we fell in love with Hyrule in the first place, made all the more exciting by modern twists. Sony exclusives have a knack for pushing both graphical and narrative boundaries, and Stellar Blade fits right in, even though it wasn't developed by one of their first-party studios. In Stellar Blade, you play as Eve, who is currently fighting an interstellar conflict, which is all nicely showcased through cinematic set pieces that rival blockbuster movies. The bold character designs themselves deserve a college-level course dedicated to researching their brilliance. Still, beneath this cosmetic backdrop lies a human story about sacrifice, identity, and hope. Coupled with snappy real-time combat where combos and well-timed dodges reign supreme, Stellar Blade manages to engage both your reflexes and emotions. It's an all-around package that proves once again why Sony exclusives stand out. And yeah, we are definitely looking forward to the PC release. The original Hellblade was lauded for its intimate look at mental health, bolstered by a mesmerizing narrative and striking audiovisual design. Senua's Saga: Hellblade 2 builds on that foundation, delving even deeper into the protagonist's psyche. Here, you battle literal and metaphorical demons as Senua traverses dark realms steeped in Norse lore. No other game in 2024 actually comes close to replicating the sense of being there that Hellblade 2 achieves, with its binary audio and meticulous animation. Subtle narrative flourishes unfold as Senua's fears and desires manifest physically around her, immersing players in a journey that's as harrowing as it is enlightening. And there seemed to be a lot of discourse around this game when it released, but it's one that I believe everyone should play. Coming from the creative minds who helped shape the Persona and Shin Megami Tensei franchise, Metaphor ReFantazio had massive expectations to live up to, and it smashed right through them. Here, players embark on a journey through a beautifully realized fantasy realm, rich with intrigue, political drama, and a vibrant cast of characters that each bring depth to the party dynamic. mechanic. The turn-based combat system definitely blends the series' signature emphasis on weakness with a new talent tree system that encourages you to shape each party member's growth strategically. Add in a memorable soundtrack, crisp anime-inspired visuals, and branching story paths, and you have a JRPG that boldly cements its place in the genre's pantheon. The Stalker series has always been about immersive horror set in the post-disaster version of Chernobyl Execution Zone, and Heart of Chernobyl is no different, except it's bigger, bolder, and more detailed than ever. From abandoned labs to irradiated forests, every inch of the zone teems with radiation-scorched mutants and secret stashes brimming with loot. The RPG mechanics shine in character progression and resource management. You'll scavenge supplies, maintain your weapons, and make critical decisions that can tip the balance of power among various in-game factions. This degree of player-driven agency amplifies the tension and replayability, making every trek through the zone feel meaningful, visceral, and unforgettable. Transitioning a fighting game franchise into a roguelike was a risk that paid off in spades. BlazBlue Entropy Effect retains the iconic high-speed action and extravagant combos that the series is known for, but delivers them in procedurally generated dungeon runs. Permadeath and random item drops add layers of strategy, forcing you to adapt on the fly. And while I would have preferred a new entry in this series, this was a nice offering to hold me off. Whether you're a fan of anime fighters or a roguelike fanatic, this game offers challenging runs that encourage repeated attempts. Mastering a character's combo strings and then juggling that with the unpredictability of each new dungeon keeps the momentum high and the experience fresh run after run. Remaking an iconic survival horror classic is a tall order, but Silent Hill 2 delivers. While keeping the haunting atmosphere of the original intact, this updated modernizes graphics, controls, and sound design. From the swirling fog enveloping the town to the unsettling new additions in creature design, everything is meticulously crafted to ratchet up the dread. Yet the heart of Silent Hill 2 remains its deeply psychological narrative, a tragic tale of guilt, grief, and punishment. The enhanced visuals breathe new life into subtle storytelling moments, ensuring veterans and newcomers alike remain spellbound and terrified as they descend deeper into the town's twisted secrets. Drawing from the classic Chinese novel Journey to the West, Black Myth Wukong infuses its Souls-like mechanics with vibrant Eastern mythology. During gameplay, you'll discover some legendary abilities like transforming into multiple forms that radically alter your combat approach. It's all a nice twist on the action formula, keeping each encounter feeling fresh and deeply rooted in cultural lore. From the towering bosses that fill the screen to intricate temple corridors steeped in mysticism, the visuals are nothing short of mesmerizing. Combat is challenging yet fair, rewarding dexterity and strategic thinking over brute force. Few games in 2024 deliver such a perfect harmony between aesthetic wonder and gameplay depth. If you're a fan of classic detective games, Emio the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club, brilliantly captures that old-school charm while injecting modern narrative pacing. Set in a quaint Japanese town, you'll investigate a series of peculiar incidents, interrogate suspicious citizens, and piece together clues in true detective fashion. Despite its retro-inspired presentation, the story veers into psychological thriller territory, weaving in eerie folklore with supernatural undertones. Numerous clever puzzle elements keep you on your toes, and each new plot revelation adds layers to the small town intrigue. The result is an adventure that keeps you guessing until the very end. Type Moon's iconic visual novel returns in Fate's Day Night Remastered, introducing updated art, voice acting enhancements, and a refined translation to one of the genre's cornerstones. Spanning multiple branching storylines, the game unravels a grand conflict known as the Holy Grail War, pitting mages and heroic spirits against one another in a battle for ultimate power. What sets Fate's Day Night apart is its exploration of themes like heroism, sacrifice, and the weight of one's ideals. Each route delves into the backstories of different characters, offering a rich tapestry of relationships and moral dilemmas. Whether you're new to the series or a devoted fan, this remake stands as a definitive way to experience a timeless classic. Tekken has always been a mainstay in the fighting game community for decades, and Tekken 8 continues that legacy without missing a beat. The game boasts a robust roster of returning favorites and exciting newcomers, each brimming with distinctive styles and combos. Built for modern hardware, Tekken 8 delivers buttery smooth animations, detailed stages with destructible elements, and rollback netcode to make matches fair online. While the high-level mechanics remain deeply rewarding for competitive players, simplified control options for newcomers add a comfortable way to step into the arena. It's all just a shining example of how to appeal to both hardcore fans and casual fighters, and it makes this a must-play for any gamer. In a year brimming with hype for big-budget blockbusters, few expected a niche action-adventure steeped in Japanese folklore to make such waves. Kunitsigami, Path of the Goddess, marries an otherworldly, painterly art style with fluid, skill-based combat offering an experience unlike anything else on the market. The story unfolds in a mystical realm where gods and humans collide, forcing you to navigate layered level designs that seamlessly blend puzzle-solving, exploration, and strategical enemy and boss encounters. Although it launched with relatively little fanfare, word of mouth about its addictive gameplay loops and hauntingly beautiful setting quickly spread. Players who take a chance on this new experience discover a hidden gem that rewards careful strategy and curiosity. Anyone looking for a fresh, culturally rich twist on action fare needs to put Kunitsigami at the top of their must-play list. Okay, this is the one game on the list that we didn't review, but for good reason. When Concord was first announced, it promised an epic sci-fi shooter experience spanning multiple star systems across multiple seasons, led by a cast that you probably assume belonged in Guardians of the Galaxy upon first glance. Sadly, what we received felt more like a half-finished tech demo. The level designs, though grand in scale, came across as empty and lacking, robbed of dedicated choke points and satisfying standoffs between enemy players, which mirrored the uncanny character designs and surface-level systems. The entire experience felt disjointed, failing to connect to a memorable gameplay loop. Combat, which was touted to be fluid and evolving, settled into monotony early on. Maybe a redesign and patch could have saved Concord, but you'll never know since Sony shut it down months after release. Ultimately, this game is 2024's biggest disappointment, reminding us that grand ambitions need equal parts execution. Now that we've gone through all our individual categories, we can tell you the game of the year. For Noisy Pixel, it was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Earning top honors in a year saturated with top-tier releases, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth manages the nearly impossible. It remains faithful to the iconic original while boldly reshaping the fates of its beloved characters. Through striking narrative twists, a gorgeously realized world, and exquisite combat updates, the second entry in Final Fantasy VII's remake project cements itself as far more than a nostalgic rehash. Every corner is packed with endearing mini-games, heart-pounding action, and emotionally charged moments, all underscored by an unforgivable, reorchestrated soundtrack that amplifies the drama at every turn. At its core, Rebirth exemplifies how a remake can evolve a classic, elevating the story's emotional resonance and modernizing its mechanics without sacrificing beloved elements. From enthralling new plot points to meticulously reimagined set pieces, this is an experience that JRPG newcomers and series veterans alike can't afford to miss. The high drama, pitch-perfect pacing, and attention to detail combine for a masterclass in storytelling, a rare feat that truly defines it as our Game of the Year. Earlier last month, we asked our readers to vote for their Game of the Year through our survey. After 5,134 votes, we have a true winner. Metaphor, ReFantazio. Now, I actually let our readers speak for themselves on this one, but it's a solid pick from our community. The runner-up was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and we also added a most anticipated game for 2025 for our readers to choose, and a resounding winner gaining 35% of the votes was Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. And that was our list. Be sure to let us know what you think in the comments below and what your favorite games of the year were. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
Noisy Pixel.